Welcome to our new podcast. Today we're going to talk about fandoms and how they relate with identity. Fandoms, as they've grown to be called, are a group of people who all admire and support a particular entity in popular culture. Usually, in the case of TV shows, books, movies, artists, etc. The original term fandom was used for the first time in 1903, referring to football fans, but it wasn't until the 20th century that the term was extended to include people that share passions and interests for the same determined bands, singers, actors, TV shows, and all that. Identity is who you are, the way you think about yourself, the way you are seen by the world, and the characteristics that define you. Belonging to a fandom group helps adolescents connect to other like-minded youths on social media, and feeling like you are part of a group can help one define his or her identity and give a sense of purpose to what might be an otherwise routine lifestyle.
Fandom associate with one another, often attending conversations and publishing, exchanging information and newsletters, publication and networking. Originally using print-based media, these subcultures have migrated much of their communications and interaction onto the internet, which they also use for the purpose of having a conversation of information pertinent to their given fans base. Within the same topic, we found some alteration or contribution that fans made, like write fan fiction, that it also calls fanfic, that are stories based on the universe and characters of their chosen fandom. This is a fiction can take the form of video making as well as writing. Fanfiction may or may not tie in with the story's canon. Sometimes the fans use the story characters in different situations that do not relate to the plot line at all. Another contribution is especially at events. Fans may also partake in cosplay. A cosplay is the creation and wearing of costumes, designs in the likeness of characters from a source work, which can also be combined with role playing, reenacting scenes, or immensely likely behavior inspired by their chosen sources. Others create fan videos, or analytical music videos focusing on the such fandom, and yet others create fan art. Such activities are sometimes known as a fan labor or fanac. They abbreviate from the phrase fan activity. The advent of the internet has significantly. Others can create fan videos or analytical music videos focusing on the source's fandom, and yet others can create fan art. Such activities are sometimes known as fan labor or fan act and abbreviated from the phrase fan activity. The beginning of the internet has significantly facilitated fan association and activities that have been aided by the internet includes the creation of fan shrines dedicated to favorite characters, computer screen wallpapers, avatar pictures, etc. Also, in the beginning of the internet has resulted in the creation of online fan networks who help facilitate the change of fan works. Some fans create pictures known as edits, which consist of the pictures or photos with their chosen fandom characters in different scenarios. These edits are often shared on social media networks as such as Instagram, Tumblr, or Pinterest. Now, who does fandom belong to? If you consider yourself a fan, you belong a fan community. All the people that belong a fan community becomes more than just a reflection of taste for people or communities. It's a reflection of culture, of bringing. Fan culture can be more than just a social community. It's also identity because the people feels that belong in a community. There are different types of fandoms because they are communities that share your passion with your favorite teams on TV, movies, game, etc. One exists the fandoms of artists. For example, the most predominant fandoms of artists here in Mexico are the Directioners that they are the fan of One Direction, the Katy Cats that they are the fans of Katy Perry, the Smilers that they are the fans of Miley Cyrus, the Little Monsters that they are the fans of Lady Gaga, the Believers that they are the fans of Justin Bieber, the Lovatics that they are the fans of Demi Lovato, the Selenators that they are the fans of Selena Gomez, the Swifties that they are the fans of Taylor Swift, the Navies that they are the fans of Rihanna. But also exist the fans of YouTubers and here in Mexico are very popular. For example, the most popular YouTuber in Mexico is Joya and her fandom is called Guapuras that it means like sweetly or little handsome, I don't know. But also exists a very popular fandom that is more like a community without main figure like a person famous. An example of this is the furry fandom, which is a subculture of people who dress up as fictional animal characters. There are furry conventions that gather thousands of people who share the same interest. The majority of furries are either not heterosexual or religious or sometimes both. This shows that furries have more in common than just dressing up as a fictional animal characters. A lot of them have the same values and benefits, so partaking in these activities and joining this convention can be a big part of these people's life. Now, some people use their furry identity as form of sexual expression, and for some people, being a furry is a fetish. In our college, we found a community furry, but we found the most popular fandom that there are the Potterheads, that means generally someone who loves Harry Potter or who knows the books and watch the movies.
According to various psychologists, there are many advantages of belonging to a fandom. Connecting with people over shared passions and interests is good for mental and emotional health because it helps to create fraternity-like or family-like sense of security. It's also generally fun to scheme and get excited about something with others and give them a subject to talk about that they know will always be well received. Finding greater sense of purpose and developing the belief that you are deeply cared for by others creates a willingness to endure life's challenges. Feeling as though you are a part of a trip is not always easy, but finding groups of people with whom you share common interests is always a starting point. It's not surprising that so many people are drawn to fandoms for that reason alone. It creates a common ground in an otherwise divisive and disconnected world. Another advantage, and one that I can confirm by my own experience, is that you can meet people from all over the world, and therefore you can learn and practice a new language. Maybe right now you're wondering how. Well, let me explain you. There are these things called fan accounts that are accounts that you can create on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook where you can show your support, but also you can interact with other fans. And obviously, there are fans from all over the world. So, there you go. There is the answer. That's how you can make friends from other countries, and learn new languages. Of course, there's a dark side to everything, even fandoms. There exists a possibility to be deeply connected to the fandom that you totally disconnect from the real world, devoting all of your time in daily life to it, forgetting your other activities and responsibilities. Being part of a fandom is not something to underestimate. In numbers, there is power, and in community, there is strength. And the bigger the fandom is, the more powerful it would be. And this brings us to the struggle between fandoms. There has been a struggle between fandoms since way back in time, even more when any awards are close, because as we all might know, there are nominations for fandoms, and obviously every fandom wants to show their potential. I guess it's unnecessary to remind that there'll always be a fandom that is going to position as the best, but it all depends on many factors. For example, the success of the artist. It also depends on the generation. Commonly, the fans are around the age of 12 to 17, and every generation has different musical tastes. But even with all the struggles, fandoms are even more powerful when they all come together. In May of 2017, when the pop fandoms of One Direction, Justin Bieber, Miley Cyrus, and others came together to support Ariana Grande in the wake of the attack at her Manchester concert, it was a benchmark moment. Never before had these self-identified groups come together in such a visible way. It wasn't just the irrefutable power of the teens who believed in the greater good, but also the visibility of their togetherness. It legitimized what the internet had known for years. Fandoms are big and they are important, especially in difficult times. To finish this podcast, I'm going to answer two questions that two of you sent to us. Okay, here's the first one. Is it easier to be a fan in Mexico than being a fan in any other continent? Okay. As I said before, I have been part of many fandoms, and by that I can tell that when you are a fan of someone of your same nationality, it makes everything easier in all the aspects. Some advantages could be that you talk the same language than your idol, and let's be honest, when you are a fan, all that you want is to stay in touch with your idol, so speak the same language help a lot. And if we talk about concerts, it would be more probable to attend one, because if he is from your or she is from your country, she can't or he can't ignore it. So there's your answer. Now, the second question is, does someone that is obsessive gets more respect by the fandom? From my point of view, yes. The reason why she or he can get more notifications from his or her idol, so that means that she is more close to the artist, and this causes that the other fans see him or her as someone that they want to be someday, so they get respect. And with this, we've come to an end. We hope you liked this topic, and if you did, please leave your comment, and we'll see you the next time. Bye!